Okay, so I just did the video on the boosters, and now you're going to see me getting ready quickly. All right, so what I'm going to do, how the order of application is, you saw, I'm not sure if I used the micellar water, but I use that in the morning just to make sure that my skin is super clean and can absorb the boosters right away. Your C plus resveratrol or your ferulic acid and niacinamide will go on before your HA. And so I'm going to use the C because I love the brightening, and I'm going to put a few drops in there. I rub my hands together and pat it on. And then you let that dry for about 30 seconds. In the meantime, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my eye primer, and that goes on while I'm letting the first booster dry. It doesn't take hardly any time at all. I'm using the eye primer, but I wanted to give you a tip that if you cannot use the eye primer, it doesn't work for you. Donna McMullen and Becky Skalenka learned from Lori Hogg that you can use the lip primer as an eye primer. And I'll tell you what, I forgot my eye primer at Leadership, and I used lip primer the whole time, and I was super impressed. And I think, honestly, it possibly would be better because it has the age-fighting properties in it. So, I don't know. Who knows? I just thought it was a great tip. All right, next is going to be the HA. And with this one, I just use a drop or two because, again, like I talked about my first booster, it's the forehead, upper lip. Everything else goes on the neck and backs of hands. All right, so while that's drying, next thing I do is I start to pencil in my eyebrows. There is so many schools of thought with this because it's like, well, I like to wait till after my eye makeup is done, and I like to do it before my eye makeup. I think it's whatever works for you. But at this point, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of shaping them so that I know where to put my eyeshadow, if that makes any sense. Now, I didn't fill them in. I just kind of put them on there so that I know where to put my eyeshadow. While that's finishing drying, I want to show you another secret weapon of mine, and that is the Smooth and Perfect. These are little shavers for your face. It is a myth that if you shave or use one of these razors on your face that it'll grow back thicker and darker. It's not true. I've been doing it for years, and it does make a difference. I think it makes my skin look better. And it's super easy to use. Now, you can have it done professionally, and that's called dermaplaning. And it's a wonderful experience to go through and have the dermaplaning. But in the meantime, you can go and purchase these at any drugstore or Walmart, wherever. Okay, so that's dry. So the next step I'm going to do is my lifting serum. Never, ever do I not put on my lifting serum. And as you can see, that's 1 squirt, 2 squirts, just for the neck. Then I'm taking the rest, 1 more squirt, and that takes care of the rest of my face. Now, I'll be honest with you. At this point, I really don't need any more moisturizer on my face. And I use CC cream underneath my foundation. So I'm not worried. Oh, and I use primer. So I'm really not worried about not having a moisturizer with sunscreen in it because I've got sunscreen in my primer and sunscreen in the CC cream. All right, so that's that. Taking the primer, and honestly, ladies, it's best if you put it on with your fingers and you twirl it in a circle motion like this, because that's really going to get in the pores. And see how I'm working it in? And then the rest will feather out, because you really don't need a lot of primer on your cheeks. But for me, it's the forehead, the nose that needs to look more smooth, upper lip, chin, feathered out. All right, so there, now my skin is ready to start putting on foundation. And I will continue this in the next video.